Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed mentors and dear students, a very warm welcome to the second day of SARTHAN, Empowering Journeys Together. I'm sure you all must be feeling all refreshed after that yoga session today, am I right? If you attended. Or you're still finding your zen or you're still looking for it. Okay.
That's right, Mike. And for those of you who might have missed it because of you were late connecting or chatting with your friends, colleagues, or just enjoying the campus life again, right? We're here to inject some energy and enthusiasm in your day.
Absolutely. Now, without further ado, let's dive into the excitement awaiting us today. But first, allow us to introduce ourselves. I'm Mehak, and joining me today is
Rakshit.
your host and co-host for the day.
And what better way to start the day than introducing the visionary architect behind this program, Dr. Rupinder Kaur. She has played a pivotal role in shaping this program, fostering an environment where mentorship flourishes and nurtures the growth of our students. She, a distinguished figure in the realms of leadership coaching and organizational transformation. She has extensive background as a leadership coach, inclusion architect, and military veteran, underscores her commitment to fostering resilient and inclusive leadership cultures. With over 500 senior leaders being coached across various consulting firms, her expertise lies in driving stakeholder buy-in and implementing systematic changes to facilitate transformative behavioral shifts at the highest level of leadership.
Her global impact extends beyond coaching, as evidenced by her international speaking engagements at prestigious platforms such as IOC, ICF, and Oxford Pro Conference. As an active member of UN SDG 5, Dr. Kaur champions the women's agenda on a global scale, while her thought leadership in executive coaching is reflected in her substantial following of over 17,000 on LinkedIn. With a remarkable track of coaching 12 CEOs and 540 senior leaders, Dr. Kaur research's contribution, including a paper on coaching and resilient organizations, continue to shape the discourse on transformational leadership. Ma'am, your dedication and vision have laid the foundation for the success of our program. We are immensely grateful for your contribution. Moving on, please allow us to introduce our esteemed keynote speaker for today, Mrs. Nishat Mohab Osmani.
Mrs. Usmani is an associate partner and chief of partner learning and senior leader development at KPMG India. With over 2 decades of experience, she brings a wealth of knowledge and expertise in learning strategy, organizational development, and leadership coaching. Having played dual roles of a learning strategy consultant and head of learning, she has dedicated her career in developing transformational talent development strategies that shape leaders of the future. Her extensive experience in leadership development, change management, and organizational design has made her a trusted advisor to organizations seeking to navigate complex challenges and foster a culture of growth and innovation.
Mrs. Osmani's strategic vision and commitment to excellence have not only earned her recognition within KPMG, but also contributed to the firm winning 7 prestigious Brandon Hall Group Awards. Beyond her professional accomplishments, she is deeply committed to the advancement of diversity and inclusion initiatives. She has spearheaded numerous programs focusing on enabling peak performance and fostering true self-awareness among leaders. Additionally, she is a passionate advocate for mentorship excellence, having deployed several mentoring programs and served as a mentor to employees and students alike. Her dedication to nurturing talent and fostering a supportive learning environment has left an indelible mark on the organizations she has served. Ma'am, we are honored to have you here with us today. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Rupinder Kaur to the stage to extend a warm welcome to Mrs. Nishat Osmani.
Very happy on the stage.
which I think is a great compliment to the mentors because they look just as young as the students, or vice versa. I see that there is mutual admiration in the room, so that's fantastic. It's a great place for me to begin. I hope you extend that admiration to some of the work that I'm going to be sharing with you. I request some of you at the back to maybe just come up in the front and just add more interactive conversation. You can fill up some of these seats, please. Very nice. Somber note. What you see here is one colleague, not too old than you are, who we lost. And I think the point I want to make as I start this is that what's really unfortunate in this situation, to those of you who are uninformed, this is Saurabh Latha. He was working with McKinsey, jumped from the 9th floor to his death. I want to start this session today with this note because I think what is most important for all of you in this room to hear is that all of you are perfect. I have nothing to tell you that you haven't heard before. And what I do want to tell you is that the way you are, the role in life that you're playing, the position that you are at is absolutely perfect. And with that, I want to bring you to our session for today, which is building the future you. I really think that when we talk a lot about where one's life is headed, it's not so much about the skills or the newer things that you need to learn, but more about some of what I call the basics in life. And my next few minutes are going to be really focused to tell you about that. But let me start with a personal story. Okay, this has been, by the way, one of my recent accomplishments. Okay, so you can imagine how accomplished I am. I'm looking at a sandcastle and saying, "This is a joke, everyone. The sandcastle is my accomplishment." But I tell you what is what I found very insightful as I built this. Okay, I don't know if many of you have done this. Have you built a sandcastle ever?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So what's interesting about it is that you have a mold, or you have some wet sand with you, and all that you do is then sort of mold it out, right? You then take a little bit of sand, and then you put it in a certain mold, or you dig into the sand and you make it now into a slightly like a door, and then you have some more thing, some like a stairs coming out of it. So what you see here is essentially one big mold, right? It wasn't like you created something. You don't sort of bring sand from somewhere else. It's just one big dhera of sand and you make something out of it. It reminded me of what Michelangelo said to the Pope, when he was asked how he made the beautiful sculpture of David. And Michelangelo said, all I did really was remove the things that were not David, right? To me, everyone, that is really the fundamental premise of how the future you is built. By letting go of the things that are not you. We don't have to do more. That's the interesting part. Life, social media, peers, everyone around you likes to tell you that you have to do more. I sincerely believe that we are in a place where you especially, you don't have to do more. You just have to let go of what is not you. And this profound realization for me, at least, was very big, simply because up until very late, for me to tell myself that everything's okay, you're good, you are someone who's whole and complete and perfect, was a very difficult thing. So as we walk out of this room, everybody, I want to leave you with that one single thought, that what's really important to you is your core. And the more you go to your core, the more you stay with that, the happier you will be. The better professional, the better spouse, the better colleague, the better global citizen. So that everyone is my fundamental premise. And I want to call on you to constantly dig into that core you. And that core you is where you will find your true happiness and your true success. That said, there are a few things that there's a few stories I want to share with you today. These are stories of what I believe are the things that build your core. These are the things that actually help us sort of go and sit deep inside where our strength lies. And I want to take you to a story of first what I call resilience. To me, resilience is the single biggest characteristic of winners. And it's not about, like they say, it's not about how many times you lose, it's how many times you stand up and start working again. The whole concept of anti-fragility, as they say. And I want to take you to a story which is now almost back to 1914. Ernest Shackleton. Has anyone in the room heard of him? Great adventurer. His big story was to go across the Antarctic, a transatlantic adventure he wanted to take. I want to give you a little background before I share with you what he has to say. So he was an adventurer. He wanted to go across the Antarctic. He had by 1914 already done 2 expeditions where he wasn't successful. On his first expedition with an adventurer called Scott, he learned what not to do in an expedition. Okay, so now he was gearing to go, really ready to cross the Antarctic. He was on a ship called, very interestingly, Endurance, and he was there with his 27 other men, and he was ready to go on this major adventure. He leaves in the December of 1913, and it's in January of December 14, January of 1914, that he realizes that the ship is now stuck in a lot of ice. It simply cannot move. And that is when his story starts. And the reason I bring this story to you is because it is a story of knowing well that you are the big task for which you are headed is now possibly not going to happen. And what Shackleton does in those years with his 27 other men is a story of great resilience, but also a great story of what good leadership looks like. And as you all take on larger roles in your lives, in your careers, I really hope that you first keep these very basic tenets of leadership alive in you. So what did he do? Let me just give you a little bit of a idea of what we call leadership strategies, right? So Ernest Shackleton very quickly realized that what he had to do was bring in what he calls the mental medicine. So what is mental medicine? Keeping his people happy, keeping his people motivated, because he knew this is a difficult time. I mean, you are in the middle of the ice and the ship is not going anywhere, and he knew the ship is going to sink, or the ice is going to consume it. So what he wanted to do most was to keep his men and himself up and about. He had these ice waltz competitions, and he was the one who first started to do it. And he called his people and said, let's play on the ice, let's then play football of some kind. Imagine this, you are in the worst of situations, you're responsible for people, and yet you think what's really important for your team. What's another interesting thing is about how he says he built relationships. Okay, so he said everybody after dinner must come in to have half an hour of just singing, dancing, just talking to each other. He realized even at that time that it was not important that he himself was the person to be feeling good about this. What was really important was how his team was feeling. And to me, this tells you, as you go out there into the corporate world, to be very cognizant that it is about the others. It's not about yourself. Right? And that, so he had little things. There was a roster of things that people had to do. He would invite them to come and do those things. Sometimes cleaning and all of those normal activities. And yet, he ensured that they were always in good spirits. They say they had to abandon the ship. About in October of that year, 1914, he had to then abandon the ship because the ship was simply cracking with all the ice. And therefore, he told his men, "You have to be out in the tents." And as he built the tents, right, he told his people, he kept the doubting Thomases, the folks who were, the naysayers, along with him, because he didn't want those people to be going out anywhere else. To me, that's such a fine example of really reading the room well and saying, okay, you know what, these are the people that I need to be very careful about. So look at these strategies. He's also, while he's going about his day every like normally, he's all the time thinking, what am I going to do next? What is going to be my next big strategy? Because clearly my single biggest thing is to get these men out from here alive. And that is my third point that we can learn from Shackleton so beautifully, that he abandoned his original goal. He abandoned his original mission, which was to cross over the Atlantic. And imagine here someone who was desperate to do that. And now his mission becomes to save his people. To me, resilience is about always standing up to say, what's the next big thing I need to do? What's different about what I'm going to do? And yet keeping your core alive. And today, the reason we study him so many years from now is because of what he did. Yeah, so that's my first point on resilience, everyone. I think the world will be a happier place. You will be a happier person if you build a resilience muscle in you very, very actively. Yeah? I think the second point I want to tell you is about empathy. The world has many leaders who do things splendidly, outstandingly. Yeah? But what we need more is empathy. And my hope in this room is that when you walk out, you are more empathetic leaders. And who better person to, and I'm from 1914, I'm going to bring you to 2020, to Jacinda Ardern. Yeah. The Prime Minister of New Zealand, who was in the most dire of situations, showed the world that kindness is possible. I can't tell you in my own organizations and in the organizations I see around myself how much I find that this is missing. I read this interesting blog, not blog, it's a quote, your boss will do more for you than your therapist or anyone else, because he's the one who's primarily responsible for your happiness. So if our folks showed more empathy, more kindness, more just a humane behavior, if that's really what we're looking for. And just to learn from her, right? She did that in the simplest way. The number of times she came on camera to tell her people that we are in a very difficult situation, we're going to walk through this. The way she led the country to a place where there was almost the number of cases was fastest declining in New Zealand because of the strategy that she had. Right? So the word kindness is one that I think is something she really exemplified. But I think it is also about standing out. When the massacres happened in New Zealand, where a number of people were shot in the mosque, she went out there and she was the first person to then put very stringent gun laws in the country. What are we learning from this? It's about being able to stand out, to be able to say, and everyone, when I say leadership, I don't mean a designation. It is not a designation. It's not like you wait to become vice president of something before you take on these facets. I've seen some very young students, in fact, very young employees at my who display these abilities and faculties and really inherent traits. So that's what I'm urging you to do. I'm really not saying it's about making the leader that. I'm asking what each one of you to really think so clearly about it. So Jacinda, when the massacres happened, goes back, really ensures that she has touched the right people, ensured that she sent the right messages, some of which are very, very tough. And the second image that you see there is about, she's probably the only serving Prime Minister who had a child, and after that, but she was someone who said, I am not doing anything right. There are millions out there, women like me, who are working and have children. And notice again how she brings it back to a very, very simple point about living, that I'm just like you, just like everyone else. And that empathy, that connectedness is something that if all of us can build for the future you're that much more richer. I want to think about the third piece, which is self-awareness. Self-awareness to me is really about, and Aristotle, all the Greek philosophers, right? I mean, they said what they had to say, and then there are no more, but there's nothing left for us to say. But I thought this is a beautiful quote from him. He said, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. If you truly know what is your strength, what is your areas of development, that's where your winning strategies are. And why self-awareness? Because not that it's not about finding some nirvana, but it's about finding happiness in some sense. So if you see why is self-awareness important, you'll see it really leads to one, tolerance and understanding, because you now know that okay, these are my flaws and some of them you may have or you may not have, and you have other flaws, and this tolerance is really what it is all about. The reason why people keep snapping, if you ask me, in organizations in life, is because they have so little tolerance for the others. But true self-awareness helps you get there. Great self-control you will develop because you know what are some of the places that you falter. I think the other big piece about having self-awareness is this resistance to what we call social pressure. Constantly wanting to be someone else is really coming from because you don't really know who you are at the core. And the more you develop that, you are happier with where you are going. I spoke about happiness. The lesser the internal conflict, because you have understood where your core lies, is really what self-awareness is about. In my experience in working with leaders, I find this very, very rare. Or, okay, let me not say rare, but it's not something very common. Why, you ask? It's because, especially as we walk out of this room to the students here, or to the experienced students here, you will realize that as you climb up the ladders of the corporate world, there is what you call a leadership vacuum. Nobody is really out there telling you, this is not okay, this is okay, yeah, I think you messed up over there, I think you were rude out that time. Nobody's going to tell you that. And because of that, you just don't know what you don't know. And so that's why for me, if you don't have true, and that's why that many leaders will not have true feedback givers. They typically will have the sycophants who are constantly praising them, or they are the critics who are saying you're good for nothing. But you don't have true advocates, or you don't have true folks who are telling you what you need to hear. That's why the only anchor then becomes our own self-awareness. And the more you can embed your growth in that, the future you in that, you are that much happier. I'm going to, as I'm speaking, I really hope you are sort of thinking through this. If there's anyone in the room who has a view of, maybe not, I have seen this differently, or maybe I would like to add another perspective, please do that. Of course, there will be questions at the end. But what I'm trying to tell you, everybody, is that there are some core characteristics that really help to build the future professional, the awesome you that can be. I just also want to talk about then the last piece, which is around curiosity and lifelong learning. To me, do you know where I'm going with this? The whole growth mindset piece. And to me, that's really what in some sense summarizes what a future professional looks like. Somebody who's always curious. I find a lot of our leaders, a lot of our professionals are just going about their day not being curious. They are not really thinking, okay, what's you said that in the meeting, Mr. Business Leader, or Ms. HR Leader, or whatever, but why did you say that? Why do you think our revenues are like this? Or why do you think our attrition is that? That is the curiosity which you must absolutely have, is something that is completely missing. There's this very famous video by Indra Nooyi, where she's accepting the Global Indian Award. This is back in 2014. And she comes on stage, and the first thing she says is that one of my biggest learnings is to be a curious learner. And that learning is really what makes me successful. So the growth mindset, everyone, is this innate view that all of us can learn. All of us can be better. That we are not all cut from the same cloth. That the apple does not fall from does not fall too far from the tree. These are all ideas and notions that we must completely disband if we want to grow from where we are. And Jared, of course, Satya Nadella took it. He took it to Microsoft, created the success story that we all know. But what is really sitting behind it is this feeling that I have more to learn, and I have not done it yet. That's, as you know, the biggest story behind the growth mindset, that you really there's more to go. I can become better, and my life is not determined by my innate qualities. There is the big discussion about the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. I will not go into that, but to me, what really summarizes the fixed mindset is the feeling that things will not change. And to me, that one single view of not having a hope for the future differentiates between the successful and the not so successful. I wanted to only just want to share this story with you about Albert Einstein, which I thought was amazing in the fact that Einstein himself, the guru of them all, right? So the story goes like Einstein was basically he was a purest physicist. Yeah, there are engineers in this room, so you know what I'm saying. He didn't really quite believe in the whole idea of quantum physics at that time. The quote over there says, "One cannot make a theory out of a lot of maybes. God does not play dice." Yeah. So this was what Einstein was saying in 1927. Yeah. But 5 years later, yeah, there were a group of physicists who were working on quantum physics, and they went on to win the Nobel Prize. What the world doesn't know is that it was Einstein who had nominated them. To me, it's a great example of how you can change the way you're thinking and evolving, even after you have gone out there to tell the world that you have a certain point of view. This is another fine example of how we don't need to hold on to our own convictions and beliefs and theories. Half the world's problems today, everyone, as you know, as we talk politics, as we talk religion, as we talk geopolitics, is because we have held on to what we believe is absolutely correct. And if you all, as ambassadors of the future, will really start to believe that, yes, maybe there's a need for me to change. Yeah. Maybe what I know today is not the complete truth. Yeah. That was Einstein's biggest, I would say, strength, that he was willing to then let go of his thinking so far and take somebody else to a completely different level. So everybody, I hope I have left you with what I really feel are the core things about how you can succeed and what's the future you're looking like. Yeah. I have with me, as I was preparing this session, I thought to myself, here are a set of people, they've worked, yeah, and they've studied, and they've been mentored by some wonderful people. So what can I possibly tell them that they don't know? Yeah? And of course, the prof helping me with the mic really validated and said, okay, maybe I have something to share here. But truly, I wanted to tell you that these are the 4 big pieces: your self-awareness, your ability to have a growth mindset, your ability to have good resilience in what you're doing, is really going to be the key of how you navigate your life in the future. So that's some of the core competencies. What should you be core strengths? Core strengths should you be that you should have. What now? What next? Yeah. I want to leave you with a few thoughts on where we go from here. Yeah. I think the number one thing is to find your passion. Yeah. Because too many of us are involved with thinking that our identity is our work. Too many of us are thinking that if work doesn't happen, and I'm going back to the story I started with of Saurabh. If you identify your entire life's story with what you do, you will always have a problem. So find a passion. Find something that you like to do from the art and theatre to social work. But find that, and really pursue it. So that's my first one. Third one actually. The second one is what I call having a board of directors. The board of directors is what you call a set of people. It's just like how a company has a board. Yeah, you can have a board of me. Yeah. So these are board members who are sitting in different capacities. Someone is a mentor. Yeah? A mentor you will have. So someone who's a senior person. Yeah. Someone who is a junior colleague, yeah, who can give you some very reverse mentoring kind of feedback. Somebody who is a friend. Somebody who's a cheerleader. Someone else who's a critic. Yeah? Think about these people, but have and create this board of people. Yeah? And this board of directors is your go-to place every time you are in a situation where you are looking for what next. Yeah? So first find the passion, then the board of directors, and I think the last, and I deliberately kept it last because you already have one, yeah, which is the mentor. Yeah. I saw this beautiful post by PV Sindhu yesterday, where she says, this is Prakash Padukone, and she says, all of us in life need mentorship. And why? Because so many times we don't know what's not okay with us, and a mentor really helps to build that. But a mentoring relationship is a difficult one, because it's not what life asks of us typically. Right? I'm sure many of you have nurtured these relationships in this room, but to keep them alive as you walk into the workspace is far more difficult, simply because life takes over. But a single biggest sort of guiding light for each one of us is that mentor. I have in my life several times experienced the presence of and the impact the mentor has made for me. I remember the time I took a longish break from my career because the children were coming, and when at that time, when you're at your lowest possible ebb, right, the mentor lifts you up. The mentor is somebody who's out there to say, there's more in you than you can see in yourself. Right? You guys have that beautiful quote, right? When one person mentors, 2 lives are transformed. I think that's so beautifully said. But what I'm talking about here is you reaching out to a mentor, developing and cultivating that relationship so that you build your own future. That's what I had for all of you today. I really feel very privileged to be here to share this with you. And in my experience as looking for, I consider myself to be a student of leadership, and I really think it's these few things that make the difference between an average person and a leader. And my hope is that each one of you here becomes that exceptional leader.
I have a curious question.
Oh, wow.
What happened to that ship?
Okay. It was called endurance. How ironically that endurance did not endure. So the ice consumed it and it went down. By then everyone had come out and taken their supplies and everything. So Shackleton decided to then leave his men, and he took 5 of his people and went to South Georgia. That's his closest place. He went there, he found land, he found help, and by then he had put his people to an island called the Elephant Island. He went back, found help, and came back after 4 months to Elephant Island, and he found that everyone was okay, and 27 people survived that adventure. Yeah. It's a beautiful story about how, that's why I think it's so powerful, because it tells you that he abandoned his original mission, and now his only mission was to look after his people, and everyone survived.
Very fantastic.
Yes.
Firstly, it was just amazing to, you're a corporate professional, talk about the concept of employees and how to keep it happy. So thanks so much for that. I wanted to know, if it's okay with you, can you share an example about how, when you got closer to your core, how it helped you in your professional life?
It's a journey. Yeah. I don't think I'm still closest to my core. Yeah. But I have okay. So a couple of things. As I become more and more sort of self-aware, yeah, I think I'm letting go of this need to always align to the norm. Yeah. I think the single biggest problem that corporates make you do, unfortunately, is to tell you that this is the way we are, this is the way we exist, and everybody fall in line. I at too many occasions, I think a little less than I would like actually, have differed from the group view and said, this is my view and this is. So I think one ability to stand out has been, and have an independent point of view has led me to become that. I think I've also gone a lot lesser on FOMO. The need to be always sort of doing and being seen and being in the right place has come down, because I somehow now know what I am and what I bring to the table. And I think the third thing is I've been able to, as a result of this, really impact the people who work with me. Because remember, those are the folks who are, ultimately what is leadership about? It's about the people who are around you, that ecosystem, right? And I've been able to positively impact that, and I don't just mean my team, but people people above because they see a more authentic person sitting over there. So sometimes I'll give feedback to some very senior people, and I've been able to do that because they know that I'm coming from a space of authenticity and genuineness, rather than trying to stay and do the right thing. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, hi, good morning. I'm Saurabh. So your storytelling is commendable. I really enjoyed it. I was gripping. Beyond that, first thing I could relate to the self-awareness bit because it took me a while. It took me, I would say, 4-5 years to get there where I am somewhat aware of the person that I am and what triggers, what are my strengths, weaknesses, etc. So what are some things that work for you? I can speak for myself that it was solo traveling. My work, like the style of my work was that I had to travel a lot alone. So that looking inside and understanding yourself, I had that time, I had that luxury. I had to interact with a lot of people where you are somewhat forced to figure out the person that you are.
Yeah.
So what are some things that have worked for you, and yeah, any advice on that way? And I have a second bit on this. Can I steal this deck from you? I have a...
Just a bit, it's just cost some money, that's
Oh,
all. Oh, sorry, I did this. I'm going to answer both your questions. Yeah, I just want to leave you with this last slide actually. And I found that this is a World Economic Forum study on the top skills of 2023. And I said, wow, even the World Economic Forum agrees now. No, I'm just joking. But these are some of the things that are the top 10 skills. And as you can see, it's really about resilience, about self-awareness, about empathy. Clearly, there's a big connection. What are some of the things that I have learned? Yeah? Thank you for asking me to share. Actually, I would say I learned a lot from my time as a mother. Yeah? Now, without making this sound like one Mamta story, okay? I tell you, when you have when you go through the experience of motherhood, one of the biggest things you will learn is how can you develop patience. How can you not necessarily be the right person and still be the person who's doing the right things. How you can ensure that you don't have to be the smartest in the room and knowing everything in the room and everything that is right, and yet be someone who truly cares and is passionate about what they do. So I think I draw a lot of my lessons from my time as a mother. I also learned music, and I think there's just to give you the topmost example of me and my what I call accomplice. Yeah, when we play together, you realize each person has a role to play. Yeah? The tabalchi, the harmonium, and me together in a small setup cannot function if we are not together. So that's another. I have a lot of learnings from how music can help music and life actually, and in some sense, teams can never function with a solo star, but it's more how everybody contributes. Yeah. So those are some of my learnings from music and motherhood.
Do we have any other questions?
This side of the room has been rather quiet. Just an observation.
Thank you, Nishad ma'am, for your kind words of wisdom. Personally, I would say that most important slide that was the board of directors one. People do have an idea about having a mentor, but having this idea of board of directors was something new to me. I'm sure some of our friends also have resonated the same feeling. Right, so thank you for sharing that. Now I would like Dr. Rupinder ma'am to come forward and present a token of appreciation to Nishad ma'am.
Guys, a round of applause, please.
Thank you, Nishad ma'am. Professor ma'am, if you can stay back. Now I would like Professor Kanagaraj to share a small gift to Rupinder ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Alright, before we move on, we understand that a few mentors have to leave early. So to remember this big gathering, let's meet at the LC front staircase for a group picture, and we will reconvene right back after this. Our group picture, please. Everyone, please.
Shall we head to the stage?
Okay, we are starting now. Is everyone present? Can I get a loud cheer, like some excitement? Alright, welcome back everyone. Now, let's turn our attention to the heart of mentorship, the bond between mentors and their mentees. As a symbol of gratitude and respect, mentees will now have the opportunity to express their appreciation to their mentors through a special memento exchange. This gesture symbolizes the profound impact of mentorship on our journey of learning and growth.
Mentors, as you receive these mementos, may they serve as a reminder of the significant role you have played in shaping the future leaders of tomorrow. Your guidance, support, and wisdom are invaluable gifts that continue to inspire and empower all.
And for the mentees, as you present these tokens of appreciation, take a moment to reflect on the long conversations, late night WhatsApp messages, and seeking guidance, and the invaluable wisdom imparted by your mentors. Let this exchange serve as a heartfelt expression of gratitude for the knowledge and support they have generously shared with you. Now, before we begin, a few ground rules. As we call upon each of your names, we kindly request the mentors and the respective mentees to join us on the stage and share a word or a small phrase about their experience or just describe each other. For example, if I had to describe my mentor, Madhvi ma'am, I would say incredible wisdom, incredible woman. So moving on, let's start.
We will start with Kanadi Wanji. She is a co-founder, 60 Bits Consulting. Mentee is Manikanta.
A few words, please.
Thank you very much, first of all, ma'am. And thank you very much, Kanigara sir, for giving this opportunity to us. And I would like to express in one word that she is very optimistic.
Something I would like to say about Sai is he's always curious. Right? He's always asking.
Address. So, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. It's indeed a pleasure to be part of this August gathering. And yesterday we were playing the game bingo.
Hi everyone, good morning. I think it's been a real pleasure being associated with sir. He's such has been a pillar of strength to me in terms of his guidance and knowledge. It's very well noted and said that as you have more experience, as you have more knowledge, your ability to think and do things become very simple, and you do it very simply while we're struggling to do it. He's tried to help me in such a way that I tried to inculcate some of the things, and a tricky journey has been made simple. So pleasure, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. This is very beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for those kind words. I think the relationship with Tushar for me has been very enriching, and I was telling Tushar that this is the beginning of a friendship. What I find in Tushar is he asks good questions, he listens, and he also sends me messages of the actions taken. So that gives a satisfaction to the mentor as well. Thank you for the whole process.
Next is Arup Datto, City Head, Apollo 24/7, mentees Vidit Rawat.
thank you Arup for being my mentor. So one thing I want to tell that he always listened my queries patiently and try to resolve everything with his real life experiences and his journey. So I can relate so that I can understand well and relate and also can implement in my MBA journey and post MBA. So thank you very much.
First of all, thank you so much, guys, and it's been an absolute privilege to be here. And Viti is more of a friend now. He's a great listener, so I'm pretty sure that I will take him far. And this is just the beginning of a wonderful relationship. I'm sure we'll be in touch in future as well. Thank you so much. Next is Nikita Nagarani, Senior Program Manager, LinkedIn. Mentee is Amulya Sahai.
Good morning everyone. First of all, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and I really don't have enough words to thank you. Thank you so much for being there for me, for supporting me, and she is a fabulous singer and a fabulous marketing expert. She inspires me in my journey and every time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for those kind words. This is the time when I really felt like using that phrase, kind words. I think Amulya is truly a sales professional. She never loses her confidence, and she knows what she wants, and I really find these two qualities about her, apart from a great experience, very, very inspiring. So I wish you the best, and thank you so much, XLRI, for this opportunity.
Next is Dilip Thareja, Associate Director, Through the New Private Limited. Mentee is Isha Tiwari.
First of all, thank you everyone. Thank you Kanakraj sir, PMP team and Rupinder ma'am for this opportunity to connect with not one but two mentors. I would like to talk about Divik. He was very, what is mentor? One who guides us in the path that we've chosen, and Divik played that role very well. One very interesting format that he followed was whenever we would come, we would chat, he would tell me, talk about your problems, not just ones you're facing in the course, but just otherwise also, whatever problem that you're facing, and we would talk about that. So that was one very interesting format that we followed. Thank you, Divik.
Thank you so much, Isha. I got to know yesterday that you were part of the cricket team as well. So I would give her the title of the versatile one. So she wants to be part of everything, which is very good and which will nurture you as you move into the journey. So all the best, and we'll obviously stay in touch.
Next is Ashish Upadhyay, Director Asia Pacific, Silas. Mentee Suraj Mishra.
Good morning everybody. So I have been knowing Ashish for last 7 years, and he is one of the most humble and most extremely empathetic person I have ever known. So he has always guided me, helped me whenever I needed. Thank you Ashish for being a wonderful mentor for me.
Thank you, Suraj. I would like to use the same words, humble, so that's the one word for Suraj. But I think, as he mentioned that we knew each other from the past experience, and because of that, the good part was we could able to connect very well. When we started the journey, we I wanted to understand what was the end goal of this what he wanted to do in his career when he completes his MBA. And we tried to kind of, I tried to structure the program as per that, and I think he kind of checks all the boxes of curious part, and whatever the when we look at the MBA, all those boxes he checks. But the interesting part was for him. For me it was easy because I did kind of self-reflection, okay, and more like how he can package himself, and later on when he will be working. So that would be an important aspect of how he should work in the corporate side. So, and he wanted to transform his career, so that was important for the overall journey that we took was like that. So I wish all the best, and I think he has he has done that part.
Next is Prabhakar Singh, Senior Consultant, Deloitte, mentees Devesh.
I would like to first of all thank PMP committee and Professor Kanagraj for giving me this opportunity. Prabhakar Bhaiya, more than a mentor, he has been like my elder brother, and like whatever today I am and tomorrow I will be in my life will be because of Prabhakar Bhaiya's guidance. It has been a boon for me that Prabhakar Bhaiya was in the campus, and I can remember the time, whether it is 11 p.m. or 12 a.m. I used to go to Prabhakar Bhaiya in his room for CV guidance or like for the interview preparations, and I really had a very nice time with him. Thank you.
First of all, thanks Devesh. It means a lot. Thank you Kanakraj sir, and thank you KMP team. One word that I'll use for Devesh is perseverance. So he has been perseverant throughout his journey. There were many ups and downs, and he has been hopeful. He never lost that hope, and that will take you places. So best wishes and all the best, and all the best to everyone who are about to join their companies and you are about to start their corporate journeys. All the best.
Next is Dr. Ramkumar, Head Vulnerability Disclosure, Volvo Group, mentee Saket Naidu.
One word for Rahul sir would be like inspiring. So the day when I met him and the first discussion which I had was something like, it inspired me that this is how I should be like looking forward to help someone. So it was just not about only MBA but about my life as well. So, and that's what something which we discussed yesterday. And one of my friends told me that this is what is better for life, not just a small part.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Saket, for such generous words. I'm not sure whether I'm really working. I'm just trying to help people and be useful. In one word, if I have to describe Saket, he's a very, very smart person. And more than smartness, I'm really impressed by his kindness. He's a very kind person. In today's scenario, where only the corporate world talks about diversity and equality and inclusion, beyond that, in the real world, it's all about exclusivity and a lot of hatred and violence. It's very important that we are all kind. We can be whatever in our careers, whatever we are in our lives, but please be kind. I think Saket fully embodies that. Wishing you all the best. Yes,
is Nitin Gupta, Business Head, Southeast Asia, Middle East, OYO. Mentee is Uday Kochar.
Hello, good morning everyone. So a couple of things me and Nitin sir have in common which you guys might not know about. We guys come from the same town, Panipat City. Sir is the business head for OYO in the company where I worked previously. And also yesterday we found out that we have a shared love for cricket and aggressive batsmen. So yeah, that be why. And my biggest takeaways from all the learnings that sir has given me is that always have a positive outlook towards life, never give up, and always be curious and always ask the right questions. Thank you sir for all your guidance.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you, Uday. For Uday, I will say, one thing which I learned from him also is being passionate about whatever you do. So he is very, very passionate, and I wish him best of luck for his future endeavors. I will also take this opportunity, which is something in my heart. When I read news, the first slide which we saw, and it's something which I also think about a lot of times. I have grown up children, so it's like it bothers me a lot. So I have written. I'm not a good poet or a writer, but still I have written 4 lines for you folks. Whenever you feel down in your life, just remember these 4 lines. मेरे हालात पर मत जाओ, मेरे हालात पर मत जाओ, मेरी पहचान आने वाला कल बताएगा। मेरे हालात पे मत जाओ, मेरी पहचान आने वाला कल बताएगा। मैं कोई तूफान नहीं जो एक बार आकर कहीं खो जाएगा, मैं तो वो सूरज हूँ जो हर रोज वापस आएगा। There will be lot of times, and it is reality of everyone's life. There would be ups, there would be downs. Down से वापस ऊपर कैसे आना is important. Down को अपने ऊपर हावी नहीं होने देना है is not that important. So उसको समझना is important. Your son एक बार वापस जाते हैं तो वापस आते भी हैं. Always remember this. Thank you.
Next is Rakesh Kumar Mahato, Product Manager, Remote, Mentees Alpha Concern.
So I would say 2 words for the case. The thing here, North Star, North Star. So the one who guides you to give you the direction. So when I was feeling down, I feel like I have to talk to someone, I generally call him. He's always ready to talk. He's always saying, yes, you can call me. He is always guiding me, giving me the direction. So I would say the North Star of mine during this journey of Excel. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Arpit. To start with, I think for Arpit, this GMT course is very overwhelming when you started it. But now, if I see now him as it's a new version. So in one word, I cannot tell, but yeah, he's very kind, very optimistic, and very passionate. And thank you, Arpit, and all the best.
Okay, next up we have Mr. Bhavani Sharan, former Senior Manager, DRGO India, alongside his mentee, Pramod Reddy.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Kanakara sir and PMP team for this opportunity. I would like to say about Bhavani sir. I got one of the coolest mentors. He's super cool, and most of you know about and the best part is that we stay in the same campus. And the learnings what I got from him is like, he is there every time since he is staying in the same campus. It is not about the morning 8 AM or it's night meeting. It's about the mentoring. He is a so helpful and kind person, and he is a great mentor. Thank you so much for everything, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity. And after coming in PhD, after this 16 years of experience, I thought that my professional life has gone in the another direction. But suddenly I got this mentee, and he is very passionate about what he wants to do. And I believe now he is also going in the FMCG industry only in the same direction. So with the SARTHAN, I believe this empowering journey together will continue, and we will have good friends like this. Thank you.
Next up we have Pallavi Singh, Associate Vice President, Boyd and Moore Executive Search, accompanied by her mentee Nitish Yadav.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Kanakara sir, PMP team for such a great opportunity, and thank you, ma'am, for your mentorship. And I would like to describe her as a guiding light in my journey. And also, I want to share one famous doha or kavi for all the mentors here. Is Guru Gobind do khare kake lagu paaye, balihari Guru aapne Gobind diyo milaya. Thank you very much.
What a fantastic journey this has been with Nitish. अभी देखा ही आप लोगों ने क्या हुआ. So first and foremost, thank you sir, and thank you PMP team for the meticulous planning of this event. Absolutely amazing this is. With Nitish, a very rewarding experience. He's going to be the finest mentor in making for all the other people coming behind him or at his level. The kind of knowledge, the expansive knowledge, the depth he has for the business is just too good. I learned a lot. Believe me. There were certain things that I was like, "ये कैसे होता है?" When he was like, "Ma'am, SS." So yeah, that means you'll go far and wide. Wish you all the best, and all the best to all of you. And please reach out to all the mentors. This is not the end. We are there for you all, every time. Yeah. Thank you.
Now we have Deepika Majumdar, Cyber Security Consultant, Technology Strategy and Advisory, Accenture, accompanied by her mentee Bhavna.
Say a few words about Deepika. Every conversation we've had, I've bombarded her with questions. I've come with like 10-20 questions every meet, and I keep asking one after the other. She's been extremely patient. And if we plan something, I know she'll be there to help and give her time. So she's been extremely helpful through my journey. And also when there were some lows, she has been helpful in bringing me back to continuing the journey. So yeah, thank you, Deepika.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Bhavna, for listening to me. So I embarked on this mentorship journey a year ago, and Bhavna is my first mentee. So obviously, this relationship will stay very close to my heart. Yes, sure, there has been some ups and downs, but she's been very optimistic and resilient throughout the journey. So I wish you only the best for all your future stints and stay happy. Thank you so much.
Next up we have Abhishek Gupta, Business Strategy Analyst, Tata Consultancy Services, joined by his mentee Mayank. Do we have Mayank here? Pamela, please, do all this. Okay. Now, Manish Prakash, Senior Manager IR, TM International Logistics Limited, accompanied by his mentee, Reshma.
Good morning, everyone.
Long press.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for this opportunity. If you were about here, he has been a good listener and a supportive hand. Thank you very much for being here.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank XLRI for this PMP program, and it was really helpful to me and my mentee. Okay, and three characteristics which I observe from Reshma is like she is very talented, and she's focused and she is resilient, and I hope she will bounce back whenever she falls, because she has learned a lot during this PMP program, and I hope she will achieve what she wants. Thank you so much, Reshma. Thank you.
Next up we have Prasant Roy, Manager Digital Marketing, Just Answer, accompanied by Shalini Bharadwaj, his mentee.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, sir, ma'am, and PMP team. What I have gained through this mentorship is, first of all, he is an Excel alum, so relatability factor was very high. And secondly, he gave me the confidence to make the tough decisions easily. He said that you need to have faith in yourself and you can carry on. You can take this decision. It can be an unpopular decision, but take it if it is right. So thank you for that.
I disagree with you. I think she already knew what she wanted. I think she has that innate understanding of what is right and what is wrong. And I just needed to tell her that this is the right thing to do. And she just did it. And she had that courage to follow through her decision. I think that's the only thing that I helped her with. And just thank you to XLRI, Anakra sir, PMP team for inviting us and letting us live the Excel experience again. Thank you so much.
Next up we have Rajesh Sarami, Project Director at PwC India, accompanied by Siddharth, his mentee.
Since Rajesh sir is from PwC India, before coming to XLRI, I was also part of PwC India for last 5.5, 6 years. So he was able to correlate with my past experience and aspirations. And apart from the guidance which he was sharing over the time, we used to share internal jokes also. And one thing which he was telling me throughout the year, and last night also we discussed the same, like don't plan for something, just face the situation and go ahead whatever opportunity comes in. Thank you, sir.
Siddharth, and thank you XLRI for having us here. So like Siddharth said that we come from the same organization. So while he mentioned the easier part, that it's easy to connect when you are from the same background, but he also learned the art of going above and beyond. So he's an inquisitive guy who used to ask me tough questions that what is beyond this. So that becomes challenging. But it is a very good experience with him that he always wanted to come into management consulting, and I'm very happy that he has finally decided to, and he has got the opportunity to do that. He's a very soft-spoken guy, and with this kind of role where you have plenty of client-facing interactions, I'm sure that he'll be doing excellently well. So I wish him all the best, and I wish all of you all the best as you go back to your corporate journey again. Thank you very much.
Next up we have Harshal Tambulwadkar, Senior Vice President at Bank of China, accompanied by Kashyap, his mentee. Round of applause from this side as well.
Good morning, everyone. Firstly, I would like to thank Kanraj sir and PMP team and whoever is involved in this program. So if I have to talk about Harshal, first off, I actually got in touch with Rishikesh, because we didn't have anything in common. I was from real estate background and he's from banking. So I didn't understand in the very first instance, in the very first call, how to maneuver this conversation with him. But it was a blessing in disguise that we didn't have anything in common and we could connect at a very personal level. So mentorship is not always about giving professional advices. First, it is important to understand each other, understand the vulnerabilities, and then try to give solutions. Once you are personally fit to adjust with the rigor of the work, only then you will be able to sustain a high performance environment. So Harshal has given me exactly that. Even during choosing the electives, maybe he might not completely know the kind of electives that I would take because my aspirations could be different, but he was there with me to support, saying this could be the repercussion if you take this particular elective, or this could be that, this could be that. So in that sense, Harshal was very supportive. Thanks Harshal for everything. And
so thank you very much XLRI for, it's always pleasure to associate with XLRI. It's an esteemed organization, in fact, being connected with XLRI earlier also. And thanks for the kind support, Kashyap, I think we are both learners in this kind of a mentor-mentee relationship, right? And it's a long journey, I think, we should be embarked upon, right? It's not a one-way kind of a thing. We should be giving a full stop on that. So learning, we should not be like, keep on doing it in a continuous process. Upskilling is one of the important part, I think, which as a mentor also we should be doing that. Because once we stop learning, then it's like this, you already don't have anything to do upon, right? So thanks Ani's Connect us to get us with it. It's a good platform to connect. Yeah, again, I'm looking forward for getting it associated one more time next year.
Next is Madhvi Arora, overall independent HR practitioner. Mentee is Mark Mehak.
Thank you so much, sir, for the opportunity, first of all, and PMP for the relentless work you have been doing. If I had to describe my experience, it would be day one, I thought it would be formal and message her, she'll give me a slot, no slots, call me right away. I called her and I thought, okay, 30 minutes, 2 hours. And she took time to understand me, where I come from, my inhibitions, my problems, how I'm dealing with MBA. Basically, it was not just limited to the professional mentorship. It went beyond, and the way she opened my mind. I know I have been a hard case with her because I've been so fixated with what I want, while she told me to be focused. But I deeply appreciate your time, your support, and your kind words of wisdom, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Meg. Actually, for me, I was quite excited and enthused when I got to hear your background, and somewhere in the back of my mind, I was feeling that here I was meeting somebody who was something like myself. I was having somebody who had the same background as me, who had come from media, who was female, and who had come to XLRI. And I think if I think back on my whole journey, I had not really met somebody who was absolutely the same. So, to be frank with you, I look forward to watching your journey ahead from here and thinking what is it that I could have been if I didn't become what I became. Yeah? So I'm watching that closely. To be frank, I also will be very candid. I know that I wasn't her only mentor. There's somebody else who is somebody else's mentor sitting in this room who she's married to. And I knew there was a parallel track going on. So everything I would say would probably get revalidated elsewhere. And everything that would be told to her would probably get revalidated here. So it was quite an interesting engagement, and I would say probably I have a competitor in the room. I'm not sure what she'd actually follow and what is it that she's going to end up doing. But yeah, thanks Prabhakar for being my partner in crime. And yeah, all the best to you, Meg. And I must say that she's one of the most resilient, very spirited, a lot of energy, high energy, and a lot of positivity, which really is going to go a long way.
Next is Praful Prakash, Head of Business Operations, Razor PX, Mentees Puja Patil.
Good morning, everyone. Extremely grateful to Excel and the PMP team for getting us connected. Something that really needs mention here about him is he is extremely approachable, and he has this quality of making you feel so pleasant and comfortable. You won't even realize you are talking anything and everything 5 minutes into the conversation with him. The first time I interacted with him, 5 minutes into the conversation, and I think I had talked about myself, personal, professional, everything. It went on for more than an hour, and by the end of it, I forgot that this was the first interaction, and I had to be a little conscious while talking to him. I would summarize him as a very enthusiastic and a very amiable person. Thank you for mentoring me.
Alright, thank you, Pooja. I think let's talk about Pooja. Super smart. I mean, there's so much to learn from her. For all the senior leaders out here, you have someone in the making, and think about hiring her in the future. I think what I'm going to take away from here is that whenever I'm hiring, one thing that I look at is how can a person think? How is he able to think? Solution is easy, man. Anybody can do it, either in office or outside office. But the ability of thinking that Pooja has is amazing. I mean, I have learned from her. I'm going to learn balance sheet and profit and loss from her. Like most of you would have. I've heard stories about that. Yeah. Super smart lady. Thank you, Pooja. It has been a pleasure being connected with you.
Thank you for the kind words.
Next is Aditya Prakash, Senior Manager Gentech, Mentee Santosh.
Good morning all. First when I talked to Adi Prakash, I came to know that he also studied for OPSC, so somewhere we connected from that point. Right from what, because he's from Excel and he's just 3-4 years senior to us, so it was more of like being a friend to me. He guided me in selecting even electives, so maybe he might not know that, but indirectly he mentioned like what subjects he had taken, like public policy and all. And also I would like to mention one specific thing which I would definitely take from him is he mentioned a framework which is SCR, situation, complication and resolution. So whenever you communicate with someone, you follow that particular framework, it would be very much at one telling them in a single point how you can communicate. So that is something which I will definitely take from him. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you first of all, Professor Kanagraj and PMP team. Kind words as well, Santosh. Thanks for that. Honestly, Santosh is already has a very good experience in his past. I think working with the ministry. So he already has that knack of asking very simple yet penetrative questions, and I hope it's not just you who has actually learned. Over the time, I've been able to just to let you know how clear thinking can be. I've also done some homework, which is basically a learning for me as well. So thanks for that, and thanks XLRI. Thank you very much.
Rating is very good.
I'm very happy that both the mentors are here from the last yesterday. So coming to the point, Prithviraj is very dedicated. How much he is dedicated is he will never lift a call of her wife itself in between the conversation. So नहीं मैं मनी के साथ कॉल में हूँ बाद में करता हूँ कॉल. So I'm very sorry Shantini for that. ठीक है. Thank you so much. Go ahead.
So just want to add few things. So the thing that I connected with Mani about was we both are very curious by nature. And we also had the same situation. I came from a different industry, he came from a different industry. So I learned a lot about his, he learned a lot about mine. And the one thing we ensured is when we are connected, nothing else can distract us. Okay? So in that spirit, like I said, the mentorship might have ended, but I've gained a lifelong friend. And curious to see. Same place? Yes, so that's something for us to discuss. But yeah, lifelong, I'll see what you achieve further in life, and I'm looking forward to that. Of course, we'll stay in touch. And shout out to Kanagraj sir, and a huge shout out to the PMP team who organized such a fabulous event. Thank you.
Last one, Shwagata Das, Senior Consultant, Cognizant Technology Solutions, Mentees Nitesh Yadav. Or we can have Anushruti.
Thank you mentors and mentees for that wholesome participation. And now, As we draw the curtains on this two-day event, we are filled with gratitude for the incredible journey we have shared together. To all our mentors, mentees, our esteemed guests, and especially to Professor Kanakraj and Dr. Upinder Kaur, we extend our deepest appreciation for your unwavering support and invaluable contributions. I'm sure I'm speaking for everyone when I say that past 2 days have truly exemplified the transformative power of mentorship and its profound influence on our personal and professional development. So, let's carry forward the spirit of mentorship, nurturing the relationships we have forged here and fostering a culture of continuous learning and development.
We believe that even though our journey here at XLRI is ending, the lessons learned, the connections made, and the inspirations gained will not be forgotten. May the bonds of mentorship continue to strengthen and guide us on our respective journeys. Mentors, the lunch will be served at 1 p.m. at IC.
And now, for the other big highlight of the day, a moment to recognize the unsung heroes behind the scenes, our dedicated student committees. From helping us with the resumes, to the placements, to organizing workshops, guest lectures, and whatnot all, to coordinating mentor-mentee interactions, the student committees have consistently demonstrated their commitment to enhancing the learning experience for everyone in the batch, right?
Yeah. Yes.
We would take committee's name. We request the members to please stand on their places. Conflict committee, Kashyap,
Next is Corporate Cooperation Committee. Wala, Amelia, Ashish, Sasaki, Shivam.
Next up, my own committee, Career Development Committee, CDC, please.
Next is Corporate Project Committee. Chaitanya, Deepak, Richika, Rohit, Unnati.
Now we have Corporate Workshop Committee, Devesh, Jerry, Vishwas,
Next is the committee which must have seen the worst side of the batch, GST. Aman, U2, Tripoli, Katarina, U2.
and now, can you guess?
Let's go.
Please stand up. Ashpriya, Ashwini, Malika, Manish,
Next is the committee which has made this event a very successful. They have been behind this for last few days. They've been sweating out, and it's PMP, Professional Mentorship Program. Bhavna, Suraj, Satakshi, and Rishikesh. Guys, if you can just come up here on stage. Please. You deserve it.
Okay, we are shy about it. we have the actual behind the scenes, the social media team, Udit, Vansh, and
Next is Sarangi sir's favorite, Orisha Club, Rohan, Malika, Prabhu, Sugandha, Anubhuti, Yoshi, Udit.
now we have the Allen committee, Divaspati, Ajay, Garima,
Next is newly formed Broadband Club, Rotsian. Anubhuti, Dinesh, Shobit, Bhavna, Kashyap, and Nikita.
Now the branding committee are in-house marketers, Santosh, Sohail,
You might want to ask them, t-shirt ka milega? That's Scotland Consulting Club, Nilesh, Rohit, Rajesh, Rishabh, Deepak, and Asha.
Thank you so much for your energy and your attention to all the engagements, guys. Now, for the final note, I would like to invite Rishikesh from the organizing committee to give the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to all. So as we draw close to this event, I am actually at a loss for words. The extremely enthusiastic participation from all of you, both my classmates and from all the mentors. We are extremely grateful to all of you for having taken time out of your very busy schedules to make it here. And you made the event a success. And as we close out this year, we are happy to say that we have really set a huge benchmark this year, and next year we can take it forward by leaps and bounds. Thank you so much. Additionally, we would also like to thank those of us who have been supporting us from the benches, our professors who have been giving us guidance, Dr. Rupinder, for having walked with us all along the way and being a huge support to us throughout the year. Thank you so much. We also thank our keynote speaker, Ms. Nishit, for having taken time out of her busy schedule to enlighten us with her wise words. Thank you.
That will be all. With that, I again thank you everyone, the mentors for making all this way, the mentees for coming here and not going to sleep, and the esteemed guests. We thank you so much. You can now proceed for the lunch. Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone.